Thank you kindly. If you don't mind, after that beautiful intro, thank you, I'd like to reminisce a little. Are you feeling nostalgic?
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. I was once sitting there as a little kid. In the late 70s, early 80s, there was a young man from Canada making quite a name for himself on television and Broadway. Do you remember Doug Henning?
Yeah.
You can imagine my excitement as an aspiring young magician to find out he was bringing his Grand Illusion show to my town, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I wasn't disappointed. He had these elaborate sets, grand illusions, and dancing girls. But Doug did something that evening, standing alone in the spotlight with his bare hands, that I'll never forget. You see, he used a newspaper like this one to illustrate the meaning of illusion. Before we get to that, yes, a magical moment. Before we get to that, I was going to say, let's get familiar. This is USA Today. On the front, Pence optimistic about the future of the GOP. I'm not touching that. I'm not political. Let's see. Beyonce. The weather. And on the back, something about the Leonid meteor shower. And Trump and Pence. Doug got my attention that evening when he claimed seeing is not always believing. For example, he said, some of us might be convinced we're seeing the paper being torn to shreds. Not the case, Doug explained. He claimed what we were experiencing was just an illusion. He was so bold to say, as the illusion deepened, a few of us might not only see the paper, but we might actually be convinced we hear the paper being torn to shreds. Nonetheless, the assurances continued as he apparently tore those strips in two. Just an illusion. Just an illusion. Doug squeezed the pieces and he stared at them so intently. It was as if he thought sheer will could put those pieces back together. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the part that left me with my mouth hanging wide open. There's Pence, Beyonce, Jin Young Ko, the weather, and the Leonid meteor shower. Thank you kindly.